Okay, you guys, this is about the case of the appeal with Carmelo Anthony. Now, I'm going to start giving predictions on my channel of how blatant the racist is. I can tell you the outcome of what's going to happen. Watch this and follow me. You will see that what I'm telling you, these people are going to be so happy because they think they won in court. But when you're black and you're dealing with courts all the time, you know when no, you didn't win. Listen, you guys, listen.
In the end, the visiting judge agreed and granted the recusal. Now, earlier this morning,
the judge agreed and granted the recusal. Okay? And the reason for the recusal is the main reason that you have to understand. It's a setup. What they're doing is getting a second judge to come and rubber stamp the first judge. These people see their hands all up in the air. Oh, we're going to get a fair judge. We got a chance. You have zero chance. Watch.
there were protests and there were demonstrations and chants outside the Collin County Courthouse. I was inside the courtroom where Carmelo Anthony appeared for the first time since the last day of his trial. He was in a dark green prison jumpsuit with shackles. He looked noticeably thinner. The judge allowed the defense to remove those shackles during the hearing. After the defense played audio of the interview, appeals attorney Russell Wilson argued that the judge violated canons of conduct not to speak about the case when a case is pending or there's an impending hearing, which in this case is the appeal. The visiting judge didn't agree with everything the defense said, but in his ruling he said, quote, "In my opinion, there was a period where a motion for a new trial could be filed, and I believe Judge John..."
There is a period where the motion could be filed, in my opinion, but it's not like I am dismissing or that I believe what happened was a big problem. But what we're going to do is get a second judge in, and what that second judge is going to do is rubber stamp. If you guys don't understand, rubber stamp means they're not even going to look at what you are saying is happening. They're not going to look at what's unfair. That's not going to happen. It's going to be looked at. What did the judge say? Then it's going to be saying, yeah, that's what happened. And that's the only thing they're going to look at. Watch, you guys.
Coach believes he can be fair in this matter. I believe he can be fair in this matter, but that's not the test.
I think it is surprising. I think most observers probably thought that that was not going to happen, that Roach didn't do anything outside the bounds of his judicial canons, of judicial...
Yeah, but see, our system is set up where we already know what the verdict is going to be. Regardless, we've already made up our mind of what's going to happen. There is no such thing as ethical government anymore, because everybody's doing whatever they want, and there's no transparency. And this is how you're going to see it. Watch what I'm telling you. I promise you, this judge is going to come back and say, oh, everything that was done right. I don't see what the problem was here. And we're going to keep it just as is.
Responsibilities, and the judge hearing the case obviously disagreed. So now there's a new judge that will be appointed, and the hearing for motion for new trial goes on. This doesn't speak to whether or not the motion for new trial will be granted.
Exactly. The motion for new trial is not going to be granted. What's going to be said is everything the first judge did was right. And I can't even understand why in the world would he have recused, because everything that judge did was right. You see? You get the picture? This is what they do all the time. There is no such thing as a fair trial, pretty much, okay? When it comes to a black person being involved, where it's really like a white question of morality or criminality or any kind of white issues, they automatically have been decided. So that means that we are now under Jim Crow, and I will put in the down below where you can see the case. My first case with landlords where federal judges all lied all the way up to the Supreme Court in that ruling. And now I'm back in court under what is called the, I'm suing for, what is it called? Obstruction of justice. And right now, for sure, I'm not 1,000% sure, but I'm pretty darn. They are now going through that whole case and rubber stamping everything that was done illegally, y'all, where they just made up fabricated lies. And then they found me automatically in the wrong with lies. Not with evidence, with pure lying. And you'll be able to see that from looking at the state order when the people I sued lost their attempt to evict me, and the state order agreed with me. And you will see where a state order from a black court, a person that favors a black litigant in court, is not allowed a positive win for a black person, even though that's what it ordered. It ordered that their eviction was denied. And this court pretended that the landlords were such good white people that they actually dropped the case as if it wasn't denied. So here we go. I'm like I said, looking, especially you attorneys out there, you really got to look at this case, because the reason why the judges turned was because I put help called embedded law, a new term that I wanted considered for my people, meaning 41 million people are involved in this case, and it would bring an end to white supremacy. So that's the reason why. What do you think white federal judges will do if you come to court with a chance to end white supremacy? Well, they did. If you know what white supremacy stands for, and if you understand, they did exactly as expected. I'd rather lose my job than allow this woman to end white supremacy because of this term, embedded law. And with that term, I'm asking for special damages for all African Americans to have access to the millions of dollars in excess that are granted to my suffering due to malicious black hate. And now the federal judges have done the same thing. Check it out. Have a good day.